this leads me right into my next question. I seen on Twitter that Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez is talking about fighting on Twitter. What you think if they fight? What would happen? Now, now,
I think
now.
Shakur. I think Shakur sweeps him. I think Tio struggles with movement. He struggles with fighters with movement, and I think Shakur would pretty much outbox him from round 1 to 12. Tio wasn't that impressive in his last fight. People, it was just the best fight of the night because all the other ones was trash.
Right.
But Tio, ever since he moved up in weight, I haven't been that impressed. He beat Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor was weight drained for
Dominated
too many
Josh
years
Taylor.
at 140.
Dominated majority of the fight of Lit Lomachenko. I'm gonna say this. My homeboy Quandrell, shout out to him again. He said this too, and it made me think like he right. I'm a fan of Teofimo Lopez as well. But Teofimo Lopez fight to his competition. If he fighting lower tier competition, it's gonna look like he gonna fight to it. If he fighting the upper echelon, Josh Taylor of the division or Lomachenko, he gonna fight and really show up like we know he can do. So with that being said, if that's true, which I believe it is, and he fights Shakur Stevenson, we in for a good fight. We in for a treat. Because he gonna fight
Can
up
he
to the
rise
competition.
to that level? There's levels, and can he get to Shakur's level?
I ain't gonna say that he rose to Shakur level, but he did it with Lamo. He showed me something I didn't think that he had in him.
And I think Shakur is smoking. I think
I do
Shakur
too.
is top 5 pound for pound
I do too.
today.
I think he'll smoke Lamo too. But I'm just saying, T.O. fights his competition, and I think T.O. is one of the upper echelon of the fighters, man. I think they should mention him in the big four. You know how they said the what they call it, the four monster, how it was
The
with
four
Hearn,
kings,
four king. I think they need to mention him in
four
there
kings.
because it's usually Ryan, Devin, Shakur, Tank. They should put
You
him in
got to
there and
remove
take Ryan
Ryan.
out. Yeah, the four
Ryan got to
kings.
go.
You got to put him in there,
Teal's a
man.
good fighter, but I see holes in his game, and I think a superior boxer would absolutely take advantage of it. He's not
Right.
gonna land on. He's not gonna land that shit. He's not. Not against Shakur.
So speaking of Shakur, to me he is a good segue. So boxers trying to make fights happen on X, aka Twitter. What you think about that? And then I'm gonna give you my take on that. Boxers
I
trying to
like
make
it.
fight. You like it?
I like it. I like it because I would love to take the promoters out the game and let these guys call it. Hey, this is who I want to fight. Put it out there. Agree to fight and fight. The promoters, all that business talk and this and that, well, it ain't time. Let these guys get at it. Back in the day, if you call somebody out, you most likely had to fight them.
Yep.
Now it's just a bunch of talk. You know what I'm saying? So Shakur calling folks out and directly to that fighter, Twitter, Facebook, I don't care. Cut some of these promoters out. That's why we don't get the fights we want to see.
So
Bud and Errol Spence cut the promoters out, and they made that fight happen.
Earl made it
I want to
happen,
see
and
these
they
guys
didn't.
make it happen.
And they didn't cut the promoter out. Earl made it happen, but that we ain't gonna
Right.
get there. But my thing is, I'm kind of tired of boxers going back and forth on Twitter and the fight not happening. If they was
Right.
going back and forth and it happened, I'd be cool with that. But they going back and forth and it's not happening. So I'm kind of tired of them being on Twitter, throwing shots at each other. I seen Tank calling Carissa the dog face girl. I seen
Yeah.
people saying Tank beat women. I seen people saying that. I'm just tired of them going back and forth, man, and that fight's not happening. Just I'm tired of the wrestling shit stuff. I'm tired of that,
Right.
man. If y'all can make it happen through Twitter by talking to each other and then getting on a private line making it happen, cool. But if y'all can't, stop that shit, man. Wait till y'all fight each other, then start doing all the talking and promoting. Right now, I don't
Do
want because
you
it's getting my hopes up and the fights ain't happening.
do you think the promoters are part of the fact that a lot of these fights ain't happening though?
Absolutely
So
not.
they can get at it on Twitter, and then the promoters step in and stop that shit
Absolutely
because
not.
it's not in their interest.
Absolutely not. Do I think the promoters is the reason why the fight ain't happening? You know why the fight ain't happening? Because these fighters is
Why is
getting too
that?
much of that right there. They
I
getting
mean,
too
that's
much money
true.
and they want top dollar. So you can't just offer them some
It's dollars.
change,
It's
huh?
definitely dollars. You're right. It's
Yeah.
also, especially with undefeated fighters, is that Mayweather of boxing. Dudes
Uh
don't
huh.
want to lose.
And all that money Floyd made. So with that in the
Yeah.
game, it's gonna be hard. Well, now that Turkey here, He was supposed to be here to be the guy that be able to put the money up to make these fights happen. But he's starting to want to be in front of the camera. He want to be a promoter instead of just being a private investor. But that's another story
That's
for
the
another day too.
problem.
But yeah,
The
that
promotion
money
of
is the reason
boxing is
why
the
the fights don't
problem.
happen, man. Because fighters think they worth more than what they really are. They think they got more leverage than what they really do. Everybody ain't gonna do what Earl did for Terrence by giving him
Right.
everything because he wanted that fight that bad, and they knew he did. Everybody not gonna do that because that's how that fight got
Well,
made. You know what I'm
well, I
saying?
think a lot of fighters also should look at the blueprint of Devin Haney. At some point, he became his promoter. He can make whatever fight happen he wants to
Yeah,
happen. He
because
don't just got to talk about it.
he ready to
So I
sign them
think that
contracts. He ain't scared. He ain't tripping about the money.
right,
He made $3 million. He only took home $1 million when he fought Cambosis because he had to pay
right,
$300,000 to the sanctioning by each bill. So he only took home like $1 million twice and went to
right,
Australia because he won a fight. That's why Devin get
right.
his fights happy because he don't care. He want them fights like Roy did.
Yeah,
Roy wanted to fight the best. But speaking
yeah.
of boxers on Twitter, this is a perfect segue back to what I said about that snack